The middle deltoid is chiefly responsible for shoulder abduction and is one of the key muscles for physically developing this joint. However, in clinical practice and training, it is very common to come across patients or athletes who believe they're working it when, in reality, other muscles are taking over, creating a very frequent pattern in which the anterior deltoid and upper trapezius dominate the movement while the middle deltoid is understimulated. This not only limits hypertrophy, but also alters shoulder mechanics and encourages compensations. That's why understanding which exercises truly activate it is key to designing more effective training programs. And this is where an important question arises. How many of your patients think they're working their middle deltoid when, in reality, they're relying on their trapezius or anterior deltoid? Because at first glance, the exercise seems correct, but the target muscle isn't receiving the necessary stimulus. In this context, surface electromyography, or EMG, allows us to measure the electrical activity of the muscle during an exercise and estimate how much it is being activated in relation to its maximum capacity. While this doesn't directly guarantee greater hypertrophy, it does indicate a higher neuromuscular stimulus and a greater likelihood of generating sufficient mechanical tension for growth, helping to answer a key question: does the exercise really activate the muscle we want to work? From here, we can rank the exercises according to their level of activation of the middle deltoid in relation to the maximum voluntary contraction, or MVC. Starting with the 45-degree bent over row at 84%, which, although usually associated with the back, can generate high activation if the movement is directed towards abduction with slight retraction. Followed by dumbbell lateral raises at 77%, a classic whose effectiveness depends entirely on technique, avoiding momentum and shoulder elevation. Next, the diagonal cable raise at 74%, which provides constant tension and a more functional movement path, favouring scapulohumeral coordination. The upright row with barbell at 73%, powerful but highly dependent on correct execution to avoid the trapezius taking over. The seated reverse fly at 70%, which, although focused on the posterior deltoid, also involves the middle deltoid if the angle is adjusted. The dumbbell shoulder press at 62%, more global and useful for general strength, though less specific. The battling rope at 37% as a more stabilizing and metabolic exercise. And finally, the dumbbell front raise at 36%, where the emphasis is on the anterior deltoid. All this brings us to one of the most common mistakes, thinking that any shoulder exercise stimulates all its parts equally, when in reality, many exercises generate more activation in compensatory muscles. This explains why some patients train for months without improving the width or lateral control of the shoulder, not due to a lack of training, but because the target muscle does not receive the appropriate stimulus. Applying this information means not only choosing the right exercises, but also adjusting variables such as technique, load, range of movement and fatigue, since the same exercise can activate the middle deltoid in very different ways depending on how it is performed. And here, EMG becomes a key tool for checking which muscle is actually working, detecting compensations and adjusting technique in real time, especially in such a complex joint as the shoulder. In conclusion, the development of the middle deltoid depends on correctly selecting exercises and performing them with precision, with the most effective being the 45-degree incline row, lateral raises, diagonal cable raise and upright row. But beyond the list, the important thing is to understand that not all exercises activate the muscle you think, and if the middle deltoid is not activated enough, there will be no hypertrophy, no matter how much the patient trains. So the key is not to do more, but to make sure that each repetition generates the correct stimulus. Now, I'll leave you with a final thought. How much time are your patients wasting training shoulders without knowing if they're activating the right muscle? Because if you don't measure, it's very easy to repeat exercises that don't generate real adaptation. So request information and discover how to integrate EMG into your practice to analyze muscle activation, correct compensations, and speed up results in the development of the middle deltoid.